welcome back to a brand new episode of the POPcast. I think it's really, really dope that we're shooting like this so we can be up to date with the things that are happening. A lot is happening in this week. Okay, let's get straight to business.
Let's get hot on the heels of exactly what is happening on the street.
What's happening with you?
So you guys were talking about Twitter. You guys were saying that some things are happening on Twitter right now.
Speedy, we want the answer.
Because, you know, my bad. I know you guys are trying to shoot early, but I've been taking this quarantine time a little bit too far.
Scoop, wait.
So I haven't seen the WhatsApp groups. I haven't even seen what's happening on Twitter.
Hold up. Where you from? Why haven't you been answering? Where your phone at?
My phone's right here, but I just have it off because I really want to just
Oh, you're locked up. You're locked up with the missus.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, sharp.
I was actually I had actually logged off Twitter as well, and then someone said to me I should log on to Twitter. But to give you a bit of context, long story cut short, so Nasty tweeted me saying that I am lying about the comments I made in Tuesday's episode saying that Bam Bam was my song, and I responded to him and I said, no, I'm not lying. And I even gave him a whole series of events that happened. And I said to him, he didn't give context, because a lot of the time, especially when guys are upcoming, they'll hand you a song and be like, yo, here's a song. Let's make it your song. Let's run with it. And that's how it's going to go. And that's exactly what happened with the Bam Bam song. And it's happened to so many people. It still happens till today. So long story cut short, he gave that story without context. So people thought that I'm capping.
Okay, cool. So what and is it cool now between you guys on Twitter?
I mean, everything I just said to you was my response, where I was like, no, dude, don't do that. Don't say, because basically what he just said is that I'm capping the song. I'm lying. The song, he didn't give me the song. So my response to him is like, yo, say that with context, then let people decide whether I'm lying or not. Like, don't just leave it there.
Okay, Speedy, what happened? Just sum it up for us in a few seconds. What happened exactly?
So long story cut short, 2015, me and Nash started speaking on Twitter DM. We were like, yo, let's work or whatever. I went down to Durban, got into the studio with him, A1 Wolf, and Sketchy Bongo. We made a song called Side Chick, which didn't release, which I still have till this day. We then, after that, made I Want It All, which is the one where Tweezy produced it. I put Shane and I put Nasty on the song. When I Want It All came out, it was time for us to shoot. Nasty wasn't happy with how the song came out. He wasn't too comfortable because he felt like I had sent the song to Shane. Shane had heard Nasty's verse when he recorded. So you may find that a lot of people say that Shane's verse is better on I Want It All. But you also have to understand that like Shane did hear Nasty's verse when Nasty didn't hear Shane's verse. So I was like, cool, I totally understand that. And then he was like, in turn,
that's the song that's the last song on your first Red Bull mixtape.
On the mixtape, the Red Bull mixtape, yeah. And in turn, he was like, okay, here's Bam Bam. I was like, cool. I wasn't really, really feeling it. I kept it a couple of months. I was like, let me listen to it. Let me decide what I'm going to do with it. Let me decide if I'm going to drop it or not, because I don't want to waste your time. Couple of months later, he hit me back. He's like, yo, I feel like I can use the song. Do you mind if I take it back? I'm like, sure. And that's the story, you know? So my thing is like, he's not explaining that. He's making me look like I'm some liar, and I'm not some liar. And that's why I say, if only I still have my old Twitter where all those conversations and all these transactions happen, I'd be able to screen grab.
Who made the beat?
He made everything.
Okay, I think that's where the misunderstanding's coming from.
Yeah,
It's sounding like when you say it was your song, it sounds like you made the beat, and he's like, no. That's cap because I made the beat and I was gonna give it to you. So it's just like a misunderstanding.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, that's also where a lot of people are getting confused. So he made the song. He made the song and sent me a complete song. Like, yo, all you gotta do is put your tag on here and we're good to go. He made everything.
That's where he's coming from, and obviously
So when he called you and he said that, okay, cool, maybe let me just run with the song, was it because you had kind of just chilled and didn't reply back after he had sent it to you? Or was it basically saying, listen, I'm not going to use it anymore, here's the song back?
It was basically one of those where it's like the song is just chilling, you know? Whereas he felt like he could use it, and I was like, cool, you go with it. I didn't want to drop it at the time. And a very big reason why I didn't want to drop it as well, besides me, I didn't really feel it. It was a dope song. I didn't really feel it. And when it came out like years later with the video, I was like, oh, okay, it's actually cool, but just not for me. But another big reason why I didn't just want to release it is because I actually didn't have a touch on it, you know? So it was kind of, it was kind of strange for me to release and that I had no touch on it. And that was the main factor why I was like, okay, you know what, actually, it is your song. So the context, you see how like this story, there's context to as opposed to how he tweeted it.
Okay.
Got you. Didn't Malume also record combos communicating? But you obviously could speak on that one. You had a...
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was saying. It happens all the time. It happens all the damn time. Like, obviously, these are things that the DJs and the producers and the artists will know because those are agreements amongst themselves. But it happens every single day. This is not something new. Maybe a lot of people didn't know about it, but it's not strange. This happens all the time.
For sure.
So
I just think it's words being used make people, like, obviously, when you if I made the song and I was gonna give it to you, and then I hear someone saying it was my song, it would rub me off the wrong way.
I feel you. I feel you.
So it's not even like on a malicious tip, just on some, hold on, especially with the way the game goes right now. It's just like the use of words maybe kind of like made people get the wrong impression.
Yeah.
No, definitely. But also I also feel like that the conversation is also obviously different, you know. I mean, we're talking 2015 things. How we used to speak then and how we speak now is two totally different things. So the other part of it is also that, like, when guys have arrived, then suddenly things have changed.
Hey, but as a Def Jam artist,
Hey, careful! Don't say when guys have arrived, huh?
He's gonna start another one there. Oh, you're gonna start another one there.
Yo, he's a Def Jam artist.
Another one, because he's gonna be like, "What you mean? I just arrived, nigga? I've been here.
I've been.
Scoop. All I'm trying to say is that I've seen it over and over and over again. Yeah. I'm not surprised when it happens. I've seen it over and over again. That's all I'm gonna say.
You know what? On the topic of music and how people are saying whose song belongs to who, how is this happening back here and there? Obviously, there's also been a lot of conversation with regards to Cassper's new song Amademoni. Song, and everyone was like, "Haibo, then people are sharing Junior the Rocker song, then sharing Pop Smoke, and they're saying, "Hey, what's happening there?" So Tweezy decided, let me hit the Twitter streets and clear this up because I'm the one who produced the song. I'm the one who's on the hook. So this is the story. So he does a little story time thread and he says, yo, he was actually sitting back and he was listening to Pop Smoke after he passed away, made a similar beat to obviously pay tributes to the UK drill as well as the Pop Smoke sound. And then he was like, okay, I want to really get somebody dope on this beat. But he was still kind of deciding as to who the artist was going to be. Then he says he was also listening to a song. He came across a song on a Sunday by Jabu Hlongwana and Vuyo Mokoena that's titled Sianyathela. So there's even a video clip where the video clip actually says in the song Sianyathela Madimon. So he obviously took that portion and recorded that for the chorus. So you hear Tweezy on the chorus basically saying Tina Sianyathela Madimoni. He had taken that from the gospel song. It just so happens that it's similar to the Cool Cats Junior the Rocker tune as well that was released. I think it must have been.
What's similar? Is it the beat or the chorus or the melody?
The chorus. The beat is not similar.
Yeah. The beat is completely
not similar. The chorus is.
Yeah.
That's why people have been sharing both songs because they're saying it's Pop Smoke as well as the Junior the Rocker Amademoni because the lyrics and the name of the song are the same. But the beat is because the beat is it's definitely UK drill, Chicago drill type vibe. So obviously then he later says that, okay, cool. Then he heard Good for That by Cassper. And that's when he was like, oh, Cassper's my guy then. He's the artist I'm going to put on the song. Sent it to Cassper. And they recorded it.
Maybe in his defense, they also didn't hear Junior the Rocker's one because...
That's what he said. He says that in the tweet as well.
Push it. I mean, some of us, select few will know it, but he didn't go all out with it. I mean, there wasn't a music video. So it does happen that maybe Tweezy or Cassper never came across that song. I mean, I think that happens often. And also, I don't think it's a bad song. I saw people bashing it on Twitter. I don't think it's a bad song, bro.
I think it works, bro. for me, I think
Especially
that
the
Drake
first
knocks.
verse, he's speaking his shit in the first verse.
He's having fun.
I wanted to hear more of that, you know, especially in terms of the content he was giving us in the first verse. So I just felt like the first verse was a bit too short. But other than that, I feel like by the time the clubs and the festivals, you know, reopen, that's going to be a big song. That's definitely going to be a smash.
So Speedy, for me, like, I think the verses are perfect. You know, I think it speaks to the song. He doesn't have to go complicated with it. It's plain and simple. He's having fun with it, like straight to the point. And every time I play that song, it actually knocks. And I'm like, this joint actually knocks. It's going to surprise people, I think, by the time he probably drops a video.
It's hard, bro. It's hard. And even the beat, Tweezy killed that beat. It's hard.
Yeah,
Tweezy's fucking talented. My goodness, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely talented. And you can obviously hear it with the song as well. The fact that he actually took that inspiration and turned it into something. Maybe it's just coincidence.
Well,
because he says he didn't hear Junior DeRocca song until obviously all the passing around on social media.
This is what I will say, right? In situations like this, I will look at someone's history. Do they have a history of being involved in some things of this nature?
This is gonna go back to Rich Mahog's thing when they were playing songs and they said no covers. I think people will always go Cassper. I don't know if I was speaking the same thing right now, Scoopy, you know?
I think, I mean, no, we're not, because the guy that came to clear this up, it would be different if Tweezy said, Cassper called me and said, let's do a song like this.
Okay, yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But the guy that cleared this up is the producer, you know? And Tweezy doesn't have a history of jacking shit. Just to put it bluntly, you know? Had it been the other way around, it would have been
Why is Cassper jacked?
No, I'm not saying he's jacked, but he's made renditions of sounds and owned it.
Yes.
We know we've said it on the show that he's good at doing that.
Yeah, you know.
So now that he's not the one clearing it, I can't rule out the possibility of a coincidence that it is a coincidence. I don't know. Because when I look at Tweezy's history, I'm never going to be like, even the way he tweets about his talent and what he wants to do in the game, he's not the type of guy to go, let me take the shortcut and just jack the sound.
Yeah.
I'm just speaking from how I study Tweezy, you know? I might be wrong. But at the same time, I haven't heard the Junior DeRocca track. I also haven't heard the Tweezy song. When I do hear it, though, when we do hear it, we will be able to deduce.
I think it happens with everyone in the game. I know they'll say that it's a Doc Shebeleza Shabaranks or something, you know. They'll say a roll-up is Wooden Boys. You know, people will always find something wrong with something, you know. And I'm going to go back to when the conversation we had now with Speedy before. I'm actually proud of you, Speedy, saying that you're actually just doing your own shit, producing from the scratch now, saying that you've got time at home now and doing for yourself because you don't want to be up in this manga business.
I don't, especially with stupid things like Twitter, you know, Twitter is really one of those things that can drive you crazy because, you know, you think it's real life, you think it's real people. And half of the people that are speaking that shit, there are people that are asking you for photos in the streets, or people that, you know, are smiling or liking your pictures or commenting on your shit. So I was always very aware. I was always very scared that something like this would happen. And it sucks that it had to go out this way, but the only way forward is just to make my own shit. That's what I'm doing now.
Hey, just block. Be like Bonang. Bonang just
So
block.
are you saying he must block Nesty?
Chief, I'll just block. Be like Bonang.
Just block your phone.
No,
I think it's not what's being said.
No, on a positive note though, guys, on a positive note, when we're talking about Cassper, you know, he's a big gamer, right? Yeah. And the other night, he was on the gaming platform Twitch, and he played with Trevor Noah, which is huge.
Yeah. Exactly. And Cassper actually said
to be like, yo, I'm gonna play with this guy. And I mean, Casper's big. Cassper is huge, but Trevor Noah is the biggest.
And apparently Cassper, because obviously Casper's been calling out a lot of people like, yo, let's do a FIFA battle, let's do a FIFA battle. And apparently Trevor Noah was the one who DM'd him and said, I think, oh, it wasn't the other way around. So, Trevor was just like, now I'm sitting at home, might as well, let's run.
I think that's so dope. That he's really good. That's why he was ready.
Yeah.
So
he's a machine.
I want to say something. So I played Cassper, and I played him 3 games, right? The first game, I actually gave like my brother was playing. I'm telling the truth, man.
Oh, you're cheating.
No, wait.
Vijay.
Wait, Mamudla's fine. The second game I played, it was 2-1. Then third game, he thrashed me, which is quite good. So I'll give him. He's really dope at it. But I think with Trevor, he put the knife to the gunfight, So Trevor just...
And also, like, you think about it, I'm wondering, because of Casper's marketable or marketing mind and brand alignment, because do you think Twitch put some money on it? Because they must have had like amazing views on that. It is both of them.
You know what? I think it was tricky because Cassper did mention that some people wanted to start betting on the game because obviously from a South African perspective, it's like, yo, this is huge. But I think internationally, nobody really cared because they were just like, okay, Trevor's just playing a game with some other guy that we don't really know. You know what I mean? But from a South African standpoint, for us, it was huge because we're sitting back like, yo, okay, cool. Trevor's getting involved. So that's when the betting company started getting involved. And Cassper spoke about it as well when he did an interview with Slicker. But I think people obviously just, did what they needed to do. Everyone's in quarantine.
No, man, Noni, I don't mean in terms of like people betting. In the States, and a lot of Drake is getting into this market now. Offset was the first one in it. Gaming is becoming a billion dollar industry.
It's always been. It's
always been, right?
So Toilet
Smoke as well, right? Toilet Smoke yet home. So Twitch as a platform can pay Cassper, or maybe Cassper endorses Twitch because it's not big here in SA yet. So they might be using him to get it in those atmospheres of people like seeing it as a big thing. So instead of just the betting part, which I also see there's a money element to it, I was just wondering, or maybe the relationship is going to start happening now, where Cassper does talk to Twitch and go, yo, man, let me be the guy to pull this into this SA or African sphere so that it is like America. I was just wondering.
No, so if you just try get a Twitch account right now, right? And I'm doing it via Live Band, because I've got a platform called via Live Band where you post your DJ gigs, you do whatever.
Oh, right? My phone is blowing up. Sorry.
No. Get nasty see. Get nasty cat.
I'm the phone, Speed. He was Oglanda.
Listen, so basically you can monetize off it. So I think that's one of the things that you just monetize off if you've got over, I think, 200 or 1,000 2,000 people.
Cassper, boy. Cassper.
So Cassper will start making money. He'll monetize off it.
And I just think it's dope for Trevor Noah to be at the stature of entertainment that he's at, and he can still like DM a cast. Like that's dope.
Yeah, that's dope.
You know what?
Like, at the crib. You know what I'm saying?
What I think about Trevor as well is the fact that as much as he's moved, he's still very aware of what's happening in South Africa. He's still very in touch of what's going on because I think for him, he doesn't want to lose that connection that he has with South Africa. I saw him even tweeting at News 24 the other day and saying, oh, this is why I was getting hate mail because he interviewed Bill Gates because of the whole Bill Gates and the vaccine. So he's very much still in touch with South Africa for him to be still following a News 24 when he doesn't need a News 24 when he's in New York. You know what I mean?
And it's got Dlomo Pele, the king of Google, who probably...
He's got Dlomo, he's got he's got Kaya Danga. I mean, he's covered. He's got Anelem daughter. He's covered.
Yo, but on a serious note, guys, I don't know if you guys checked out Bridget Messina's Instagram, And
no.
Yeah. Just go through. There's a video she posted, and it kind of touched. It just started like crying, and it's one of those things. I guess like I think we've had this conversation, Scoop and team. You guys were saying that during this COVID-19 time, this self isolation that's happening, you kind of have to reflect back on what's happening, and with loved ones, etc. And you know what? It was the first time actually seeing someone in the entertainment industry crying, saying, "Yo, guys, we are actually losing out of money. It's tough." You know what I mean? And it had me feeling like, "Yo, what advice are we doing as friends?" Because now, you know, I know that some of my friends. Well, I had a discussion with a Dimples and a Milkshake, you know, and we're talking about cutting down. I was like, "Yo, I need to cut down on DSTV. I need to cut down on it. Like at this present moment in time, I can't afford it."
I saw DJ Envy's also putting something together, and he did say, I mean, as much as it's directed to, I guess, DJs in America, he was saying that it's for DJs around the world, you know, where they've kind of put together like a group of sorts where they're going to try find ways to help to help the full-time DJs, you know, not the part-time DJs that have jobs, but DJs.
Oh, not the part-time.
Yeah.
Yes, you're part-time, my
Yeah,
nigga.
VG, when
part-time.
Yo, hold up.
VG, your ass been part-time.
Hold up. On weekends, what am I doing?
VG, you have a salary. Tina, we don't have salary.
Yeah, Cosmo, you're at 5 FM. Relax.
I've got 1 show a week. What is that?
Now
It's a salary.
Yeah, you're part-time.
It's a salary.
We just decided that we
want
want
to
to work over.
About any and anything right now. It's a salary.
Thank you. Sorry, Speedy. Anyway.
I was saying, I saw they're putting together an organization for the DJs. And basically, he used the example of the bartenders, where basically in the States, I think they've got an organization for bartenders where it's like a fund where people get to like donate tips because the waiters and barmen and bar ladies can't make cash right now. I actually saw the Royale doing the same for the barmen and waiters at Great Dane and at the Royale. No, not Great Dane, the Royale. Just, you know, to try and help those people out. So yeah, I think we're losing a lot of money, but it also goes back to the things that we always say, that like you have to plan for a rainy day. You know, I don't know how much we stress this, that you can't be living hand to mouth. I mean, anything can happen at any time. You know, so this is also a time where we're going to really, really see who's been listening, who's been, you know, doing their things properly, and who hasn't, because it's bad.
So,
it's really bad.
As much as you can plan for rainy days, Yabona, this one is a storm, my nigga. Like
you gotta plan.
Also because of the uncertainty of the time. Like, we don't know how long this quarantining is going to be. It might not. I think there's going to be.
You gotta be ready for the storm, bro. You gotta be ready for the storm.
Like, it's crazy, man. It's really crazy.
So it's the saving part of things, right? That we have to start saving in life. Also, you know what I mean? And also, I think as friends, we need to advise each other. Like, what would you like, Noni, for example? What would you probably, at a time like this, you know, that, you know, for the next few months, you're not guaranteed that you will have gigs or whatever, you know? You have to recoup for the past few weeks that has happened, you know? What would you give up right now?
What would I give up? Jeez,
yeah. Just to tone down, because I think most of us will have to downgrade. I'm gonna downgrade.
Maybe downgrade the BMW, Noni. Maybe.
I was speaking to my landlord at the shop, and I was telling her, I was like, look, man, at the moment, I don't know how things are going to go, but it might have to get to a point where I'll have to operate just online because I can't afford to be playing for a place that I'm not using, you know. I go there on a daily basis to generate money. So if I'm not there generating money, unfortunately, it's killing me, you know, and I don't even want to try act tough about it or whatever. And it doesn't mean the shop will close. It'll physically close for now, but it'll still be available online. So that's one of the things that I'm thinking about doing. And I guess we'll just have to see what happens in the next couple of. I mean, we're halfway through, so we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. But I've been seeing the one clip that's been going around where he's like, look, I said the president's basically saying, I said it will end on the 16th of April. I didn't say what year, you know, and he's just joking, but I'm like, yo, take it easy. So hopefully there's no extension, and hopefully, you know, people have been looking after themselves and we can get back to normal in no time.
You know what, the tricky thing financially also was that, yes, he did say that it's 16th of April, but unfortunately from a health perspective, my cousin's a doctor and she was mentioning that as much as you might want it to be done on the 16th of April, it won't be because of how the spread is kind of picking up. And in order for us to kind of curb it, we're going to have to stay indoors for maybe another 28 days, give or take. And if we are taking this extra 28 days just for us to be proactive in curbing the virus, unfortunately, people are going to have to sit back and say, okay, what's more important, my life or is it money? You know, and that's where we're kind of sitting at the moment as a country. And I think the important thing for us to also kind of look at is those things where, are we really saving as artists? Are we really putting money away for a rainy day? If not putting money away, are we investing our money in certain things? The tough part also about having investments is that sometimes people might even invest in maybe say property, or maybe even you have an extra car. Like a lot of artists obviously have like big vehicles that they use for traveling. You know what I mean? So maybe it's a point where you're thinking, okay, I can't afford this big car anymore. Maybe I want to sell it, but you can't. Because
no one's gonna buy.
It's not the market. Who's going to buy it? So that's why the tricky thing has to come in now, where you speak to your financial advisors, or maybe you speak to your bank and you say, listen, maybe can I get a payment holiday? If it is extended by 28 days, it's only 28 days extra that we kind of need to then pull back on for some of those things. Maybe you have credit insurance. And this is where the big conversation comes in from a financial perspective, because a lot of artists don't have insurance. They don't see the point in having insurance. They don't see the point in investing. For me, it's also difficult. I won't even lie. Like, as much as I have a finance background, I also struggle to save. So what do? I make it a debit order. And I have a debit order that goes off my account every month, so that at least I know the money is being saved. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to me saying, okay, I've got racks, let me put it away. It's hard to do that. When you see the money, you want to go to the club and pop a bottle. So you need to kind of trick yourself into doing different things like that. You know what I mean?
I just wish that like banks could also kind of like meet like freelancers halfway, because a lot of the time, you know, you want to plan as a freelancer, you want to save, you want to get a bond, you want to do those kind of things, but you don't have pay slips, you don't have, maybe you got a business, you don't have financials. There's a lot of things you don't have as a freelancer. So I wish the bank could kind of like meet us halfway, or even find a way for maybe like for a booking, you know, for us to find a way for promoters when they're doing a booking, for that to come as somewhat as a pay slip. As much as you're sending an invoice, when they pay you, somewhat of a pay slip must come through, so that you're able to, when you want to open a bond, be able to be like, yo, I've got pay slips, I am making money. Because right now,
I disagree with you. And I disagree with you purely because I've taken this process in trying to buy a car, trying to buy a house, trying to buy assets. And from a financial perspective, the bank also needs to be careful about who they're lending the money to. It's different when you're lending money to someone like VG, because he's got a job. So he's getting money every month, 25. Whereas Tina, we get money sporadically. We get money on the 2nd, we get money on the 15th, you get money on the 17th. They never know if your money is going to be stable every single month. So it's up to you. It's up to you to make sure that you have financial statements, so that you can prove to say, here's my income coming in. This is how I've built myself. So maybe you need to generate the payslip yourself and then pay yourself a salary from your business. You can't expect a promoter to do that. They've got other things they're busy with. It's bad enough to pay them for payment in the business.
It's also like not that easy, even because, and I say this from someone, like, I remember when I bought my first place, like I struggled as much as I had financials, as much as I had 2 other jobs that gave me pay slips. I really struggled. I had to end up getting a place according to my 2 other pay slips, which isn't even half of what I actually earn. So what I'm trying to say is, I understand that like they're working with big risks, but they can also, you know, try and meet the freelancers halfway, where you can see like, okay, this person has been backing with me for 10 years. For the past 3 years, they're making so and so amount. Because yes, we don't make money all the time, but you can find that maybe as an artist, I want to buy a house for R1 million. I say, okay, sure. Maybe I don't know, in 6 months I can't pay my bond anymore, but I'll give you 500 now. You know, like there's ways to work around it.
Okay. But then that's
I hear you guys.
That's where your conversation comes in with the person who's helping you with your application, because they have to defend you in their application. You need to give them the information for them to defend you. If you don't give them that information, they're also going to sit back and be like, oh, well, I can't help you because.
But I know SA home loans is very, very helpful.
EG, you wanted to say something?
CCTV. Hey, Okay, so I want to say this, right? And I don't know if I'm going to speak something about overhaul. What I've picked up a lot of the times, we tend to clamour ourselves. Clamour is to, and that's what this process, Sia, is to, we tend to go over ourselves. So
Yeah.
in terms of
Live beyond our means.
yeah, I think that's what a lot of artists or a lot of people in the entertainment industry do a lot of the times. Whereas
Definitely.
you're probably afraid, like, I can get myself an H1, but it's like, but in front of V class because people need to know who I am and if I've arrived. It could be one of those things.
It definitely is a combination of things. That is one of them. That is the root of the problem, is that our mind state in the entertainment industry is not equivalent to the money. Our mind state exceeds the money. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're trying to keep up with what we're seeing on the gram overseas, or people are trying to keep up with artists that have been here for 10 years and you only started.
Yep.
It's like something
So
simple as an award ceremony. Like when you're going to an award ceremony, how much money are you spending on a stylist? If you're a lady, how much money are you spending on makeup, hair?
Those things, my nigga.
Noni,
Speak on those things, my nigga.
Noni, how much have you saved this month?
How much have I?
Saved this few weeks in jail, not doing the hair and the nails and.
Well, I actually did my nails the day before lockdown.
Okay, you nice.
But the thing is, I'm also like, I'm financially savvy, so I find means and ways around certain things. So I did my nails actually for free because I have points. You know what I mean? Yeah. So other people don't gather points for them to be able to do their stuff for free. But I mean, from a saving perspective, I mean, it's a lot. Like doing your makeup, some makeup artists cost maybe close to from like 7 to 1,000 rand, even more than 1,000 rand per face beats. There's something you're going to wash off at the end of the night. Maybe 1,500.
I think you guys must learn to do it on your own. But also, I wanted to say something, guys, in terms of like the banks. I think Speedsta raised a very good point. The system and the financial system and economic system of South Africa, even though we are a majority and have come out of such hardship, we are not given a break. We were never like just helped. It's not there to help us. And I know what you're saying, Noni, in terms of like the pay slips and generating our own pay slip is key. But in terms of banks, there was a story back in the day that the banks have different interest rates towards Black people when it comes to home loans and other debts than they do towards other races in the country.
Old money.
Like the way the system is still set up is to ukfunga and suck out all the life from the darker skinned people and really give alleviation and sort of like rest to other people. You know, I have no doubt in my mind that the people in the banks, they don't care. Even when you're talking to them on the phone about repossessions and all these other stuff, they really don't care about, especially when it's a Black person. I just wanted to say that. And the fact that story, I think it was Standard Bank, it came out a while back, the fact that they were hiking the interest rates on home loans. And I remember that story and I was like, damn, because if the people ran apartheid, guys, these same people still exist. They're not gonna now all of a sudden go, no, I'm gonna make it easy for you Black guy to own land here. Another point I wanted to make outside of politics was the point of during this quarantine time, the one people or the one group of people that are making shit easier to deal with is arts. These are the last people being looked out for.
Yeah.
Everybody's into music, everybody's watching DJs, everybody's doing whatever. And the arts are making everybody cope during this time. But can I ask you if the arts are being looked out for by the higher ups?
I don't even think so. There's been all of these relief funds, there's been all of these applications, and even in Natin Teto's speech where he mentioned and he said, we do have 150 million that we're going to be giving to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. The difficult part about that is that he's like mentioning that there's pre-existing companies that have events with them. Who are those companies? Why have they already been pre-existing? And then a majority of the budget is going towards the sports department. It's only 150 million. What about the rest of us who are like you said, keeping people entertained. We're doing these lockdown parties. We're releasing content on social media. People are sitting and watching everything that we are posting to make sure that people still feel like they're entertained. But we're the last people at the bottom of the barrel, which kind of also then talks back to Rami Chuene's tweet. She posted a thread yesterday. Or was it 2 days ago? I can't remember. Where she was basically mentioning how everybody kind of meets, whether they're an actor, whether they're an artist, whether they're a musician. And this thing about, hey, we're always circulating the same people on TV screens, open up the industry. And it's like, but guys, I only earn this amount of money. I have to jump from this job to that job to that job and pick up all of the gigs on the weekend, because that's how I can survive. I don't have a steady job. Once I've done that one scene and maybe I'm a call actor and that's all I get for that one scene, that's all I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see me on every single TV show because I need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Every single day on TV because you know what I mean? But we're the last people who are after, which is the problem.
It's real talk, huh?
And then shouldn't there be an address by the lady that was hired by Arts and Culture? What's her name again? Maschab. This is when she could address us in the arts and the culture.
She's supposed to be defending because she's been a freelancer. She knows how it feels.
She knows exactly what we're going through.
She knows exactly how it feels to be dealt with by higher ups and having to leave a station because of whatever situations and to be treated badly as a freelancer. So we're calling her out and saying, babes, help.
I was reading Tando Tabete's thread about her 5FM exit. Sure. It's crazy.
Talk to us. Tell us, my nigga.
So long story cut short is that she was signing a new contract and she had asked for a 200 Rand raise. And then she found out on social media that the show was no more. She found out the show was no more. She got a call a week later basically saying that they would offer her the Sunday 4 to 7 a.m. show. And then she was like, what is this all about? You know, she didn't understand what was happening. She then found out that the powers that be had gone and said that she wanted a 20% increase, not a 200 Rand. And then I guess they kind of realized that they weren't doing it right. So they came back to her and re-offered her the Drive Time show. And that's when she said, no, I can't. I mean, you guys clearly aren't taking me serious. You're taking me up and down, and you know, you're not considering my life and what I've done here. I mean, because what she's done there has never been done before. That's history for a female to be on the Drive Time show, for a black female to be on the Drive Time show for 5FM. That's never happened before, you know. And I guess she used I guess she was saying that she wanted to focus on acting at the time. If you guys remember when she left, she said, I want to focus on my acting. But in the third, she tells you that like they had already given her provisions for the time they had to shoot that show. I think it's Housekeepers 2. Yeah. Housekeepers 2. They had already made provision for all those things long before the new contracts were coming. So it was just a little bit sad to see how it ended, you know.
Yo, I want to just sorry to cut you off, Speedy. I'm gonna come back to you. But Noni, you said that it was sports, arts, and recreation. Have they arts and culture? Have they combined the things?
Yes, as of 2018 or 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Initially, they were separated, and then they combined the two, which now leaves us as the arts.
It used to be sports and recreation and arts and culture. It used to be sports and recreation.
Yes, it used to be sports and recreation, and then arts and culture was a separate department. They ended up merging the two. So now we're at a point where we are now facing the same budget, and we're having to work together to basically scrounge for the cents together. Where sports is getting a portion, arts already are getting a portion, but we're getting the crumbs of whatever's left because the sports will obviously be prioritized.
And then back to Speedy's point.
Guys, maybe you guys weren't congratulated. Maybe that's how we... Anyway.
What you saying, Speech?
I'm saying maybe because we weren't congratulated. Maybe that's why we ain't getting shit. Anyway, move over.
Now go, Vici. Yo, Speed, on your point, my nigga, can I just be honest and just say as someone like yourself who works for the SABC and still be like transparent enough to be able to talk about something like this, that's big, my nigga. Especially on a platform like ours.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
that's shout out to you.
I don't think I'm saying anything bad, you know, and also I'm just referring to Tando's thread. I'm not necessarily saying anything bad to 5FM directly. And I also believe that there's two sides to every story, you know. So I'm just telling the side that I've seen on social media because she's put it out there. I'm sure they have their side as well, which I unfortunately can't speak about because I don't know.
Damn, that's messed up.
Something I also picked up, and it's something that I've seen as obviously within the groups that was happening, that some sort of promoters have been approaching guys like, hey guys, there's this brand who wanted to jump on, do a live mix and whatever, you know? When meanwhile you do know that, yo, but you are getting paid for this, but you are not paying us. You know what I mean? So I know there's a group of guys, I won't mention the names, but I want to say big ups to all of them saying, yo, we are standing up for this thing, guys. We actually want what's ours, because in times like this, people do need to get paid no matter what.
I think people are getting paid for some mixes. I think it also just depends on your communication with regards to which platform you are working with and who has a brand behind them and who doesn't have a brand behind them. So I think it's important for you to also have that conversation with whoever booked you. So if you are one of those DJs who are saying, okay, cool, my name's being used to kind of push this platform, there's a brand behind it, have the conversation, pick up the phone, bro. It's not like you're doing anything. Bambi phone.
So
and
when
No, I haven't been paid, but I've been communicating. That's what I'm saying.
Who's your sponsor, Noni?
You and I, Noni.
Who's your sponsor?
Who's my sponsor?
Ella, if you're gonna get paid.
No. I'm not getting paid as yet. I'm saying have the communication. Speak to the promoter who booked you.
Oh, okay. Who are you playing for, yourself or someone?
No, he's talking about the lockdown parties that have been happening. There's been plenty happening on different platforms. Some have been happening on social media. Others are happening on TV channels. Some
I'm
are
asking about yours. Did you play for a party or yourself?
No, I've played for 2 different parties.
Okay.
Yes. So I'm saying open up the conversation.
And say you need cold drink.
The person who booked you. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I can say the one that I did, like the official one that I did, which was for a TV station, I got paid for, and that's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. Because at the end of the day, they're using
that's definitely how it's supposed to be.
At the end of the day, they're using your name to make sure that people are watching. So
I mean, at this point, things are so intense. I won't even take it that far. I mean, for me, it's just like, yo, as a music channel, like look out for the artist, you know.
Yeah,
and I have to give respect to MTV Base, because that was the mix that I did. And the first thing they said when they called me, where they were like, before they even said, can you do a mix, they were like, yo, we're going to try to put some money in your pocket. And I can respect that. You know?
Yo, we need to get sound effects.
That's the way to go.
Shout out to MTV, actually. Yeah? Shout outs,
guys.
Shout outs.
But yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about. Sorry, Vijay, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I wanted to say, moving on forward, right? With instances like this, do you think these brands now will start paying us to do these mixes? Like, I know people on radio. I've never gotten paid for a mix on radio, right? It's always a marketing tool for you to get more gigs outside. Do you think moving on forward, we should be starting to get paid for doing services for these people or for these brands?
Definitely.
It's tricky. You know what? I'm speaking from a perspective of understanding why mixes get requested to be done for free, but I also understand, as well as a DJ myself, wanting to collect the coins where I can collect the coins. It's hard when you are pushing specifically a platform and then you're saying, okay, cool, Swanban is on a mix, are you going to listen, yes or no? That's where maybe the PR perspective kind of comes in. But when there's a brand involved, I think that's when maybe money needs to kind of be paid. Because we all know that the platforms, the TV platforms, don't really have money, if we must be honest. So
radio?
they usually
No.
advertising.
Answer, Scoop.
They lying. You cannot be a platform that's been existing since the 80s and tell me you have no money in 2020 and we've only been going through 21 days of quarantine.
But a lot of budgets have been cut, especially with what's going on. And you must remember that a lot of the brands that jump onto this kind of thing are normally alcohol brands first. Yes, other brands get involved, but normally it's the alcohol brands, and they also aren't getting any money right now, you know, so
because they're not selling any alcohol. So for them, it's also difficult because for them, it's just, okay, fine, we're going to sponsor this thing just for brand awareness, but brand awareness only goes so far, because normally when you get a sponsor for an event, the brand will always tell you, okay, we're going to sponsor your event, but you need to sell so many units. It's always like a back and forth that way. So if they're going to sponsor something online, it's like, okay, now they're just doing just for the sake of you knowing that their brand exists. But half of the time, these brands, you already know they exist. So
guys, when I was saying they lying, I was speaking about channels firstly, right? Channels are lying. I've never met with a channel that said, I have money for you. It's always, we're just going to have to see within the budget. I'm not sure, you know?
Yeah.
When it comes to brands, especially the alcohol.
Money for me.
What's up?
Where do the channels make money, Scoop?
Advertising.
I'm saying I just need that MTV base put some money in my pocket.
Yes, but maybe they put some money in your pocket because they had a brand who's going to be sponsoring it. We don't know.
So
guys,
yeah.
Whatever. And the thing is this also shows how we have been accustomed and groomed and reared up in this country to work for free.
Yeah.
If I'm giving you my intellectual property and my time and my energy, fucking pay me, man.
Thank you, Scoop. Amen.
It's simple as that. Even though you're talking about
you guys
where they get the money advertising. Wait. If they talking, guys, let me finish my point, please.
Okay.
If we are talking about artists, and artists should be saving for rainy days, then brands should be saving for rainy days.
That's
Don't
true.
they make more money than us?
They do, definitely.
They definitely do.
Definitely.
And they've been making it for a longer time than us.
Definitely they do.
But because in this country, we have been raised and been sort of like grown up to be accustomed to working for less than our value, even down for free. And I'm not just talking about artists now. The whole country has this problem.
Definitely.
If you are going to hire me and you want my expertise in whatever area and my energy and my time, pay me, even if it's a minuscule amount that is different from what the regular payment would be. But show me that you honor my energy and my time and my talent.
So Scoop, does it go back? And I've seen a lot of people have this conversation, especially they'll say it's this whole Ubuntu culture that has put us, or maybe it's the whole. Well, they say Ubuntu culture, whereas we're supposed to say thank you, yes, please, thank you, you know. And when you realize, and especially because I've been dealing a lot with the American guys.
We're always walking here.
You know, interesting you say that.
We're always here. No, dog.
Yeah, an American guy told me last week, Vigi, you need to stop saying thank you, because once the men say thank you, they know that they're going to walk all over your head in America.
Because it's work. You asked me to do some work. I've done work for you. Now pay me.
Yeah, fight for yours. Fight for yours.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but Americans don't have Ubuntu.
Can you explain that? Like, what do you mean you mustn't say thank you?
Americans don't have Ubuntu.
So basically, so he picked up that a lot of the time someone will say something, I'll be like, hey, no worries, thank you for doing A, B, and C. He was like, dude, these people are on the process of saying, Kuti, this guy always says thank you. They never say thank you. And it's like, if you notice, they never say thank you once you
Neither do they say please.
Yeah, and it's like, yes, you've noticed, which I'm like, yeah, correct. It's like, so my dude, this is one thing, because he's also American. It's like, I'm going to teach you this, right? You're going to need to fight for what's yours, claim it, and make sure those people know who the fuck you are. Don't be trying to humble yourself the whole time. You need to get what's yours and make sure that you know your value. And that's it. Basically, the Mahlombe, thank you.
Stop.
Yeah.
So you guys are saying down with Ubuntu?
No,
we are saying know your value.
Thank you. Yeah.
But
know your value, stand for your value.
Knowing your value and being arrogant, it is very...
It's rich coming from you, Speedy.
Hey. When it comes to business, I'm very straight up about my stuff. You know, if you've my clients and we've worked before, you know that I'm very straight up about my stuff. There's no funny business.
That's what I'm saying, dog. Like, and everyone needs to get to that level.
Yeah, I mean, if you take
You
it,
can
you
be
take it how you
able to
take it.
straddle that
I
line
know what I'm
between.
saying, and I try to relate in that way. How you take it is that's on you.
Yeah, because if you can perfectly, I think you straddle it perfectly, the line of knowing your value and also in business. And you were like one of the young guys that got this thing very early. But it also came like people would be saying, no, he's arrogant. It's like, no, dog, he just knows what he wants the way he wants it.
Yeah, and I'm also I'm not everybody's friend. I'm not gonna try and be everybody's friend.
Don't please everyone, my nigga. Yeah,
I can't. I really can't. I'd love to. I just can't. I can't smile with everyone. I can't.
But shout outs to you guys. I'm gonna thank you guys again. Sorry, I know maybe to my shoulder, but yo, but yo, Nani, Speedy, Scoop, we've done this thing with no sponsor, but we're still giving it our all, still talking what we can, and still educating people out there. So we're giving our best, and I'm proud of you guys for every week we try to deliver by all means, whatever that we can, you know. So those motherfuckers who are busy saying we are poor, we are some quality shit, whatever. Yo, we're taking whatever we can invest in our own time. So
yes, sir.
Eat that shit. That's
no doubt, bro. Like I also want to just say thank you, like because if you look at you, sometimes you just don't know what you're doing, and then you look at the response and the comments, and you just realize, damn, like we really matter to some people out there, and that's all it is in the entertainment industry. Definitely. If you can just get your 10, 20 people to pay attention to what you're saying, that's all. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to everybody with no money still doing this thing.
Let's to see, tweet us. Tell them to give us money. Let's to see. Maybe they'll notice us.
Don't worry, we'll make sure Speedy's not involved.
I know. Speedy. Wow. Let's say I know. They'll make sure we get money.
All right, guys.
I wanted to also highlight some niggas that might. Go ahead, Speed.
I'm saying I'm glad we shot the episode now after this thing, because I'm like I said, I'm off Twitter. I'm not gonna sit and go back and forth on Twitter with people.
No, you don't need to, Papa. And I think I know the character that you are. I know that you'll probably give Junior a call, and you guys will say, "Hey, 1, 2, 3," and you guys will laugh about it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like I've done this in the past as well, so maybe that's why he did like that. But I feel like before you say something like that, you
and what in the past?
Fracasino.
He's a Twitter troll. You know, Speedy.
Hey, Speedy.
I learned this from my own experience. So, yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Just wanted to highlight. Sorry, Noni, go.
No. I was closing off, but you can finish off with your last point.
No, I wanted to highlight. Shout outs to the Val Speedy. I finally got a hold of SPK on Instagram.
You jumped a new video.
I really dig it. And then I wanted to shout out D Exclusive as well. D Exclusive, he went through he was on the hustle part 3. Then he went through a depression, and now he's like coming back. And this quarantine time has been great for him. He's got a new song out.
And Manu.
Yeah. Like it bangs. It's actually somewhere in the Metro FM.
Yeah, it's on my show.
Number 4.
Yeah, on my show. Yeah, the charts on my show.
Yeah, like I just dig the fact that he's came back. And sometimes we don't get to speak about these guys that might not be in this Instagram sphere. You know, they on the outskirts. So I just wanted to highlight him. And one more other person we not that we don't highlight him, but is doing great work is Solo, who's got like some basement sessions. He records at 5 a.m. in the morning. The last one he did with Dineo was amazing.
I saw that.
Got one now. Yeah. He just got one now where he has the band involved and they're shooting, and you can see the band playing the instruments. I think it's a dope idea. And
I'm loving Stogie's one. Okay.
Touchline. We did touch on Stogie. Yo, Touchline, but fair too.
Touchline.
When he's signing in, VG?
He doesn't want to get signed. Touchline.
Don't worry, guys. You know me. I keep the raps, then I deliver. Then you're like, oh shit, let's see it.
Also, happy belated birthday, Babyface Dean, DJ Kamo, Big Hash, SPK were all celebrating their birthdays this week. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, boys. Re tla senda dikuku via the emojis. Happy birthday, boys. Yo, you need to look out for a kid called Tembi Powers from Cape Town. Look out for the kid called Tembi Powers of Cape Town. Trust me.
I think you've told me this before, huh?
Trust me.
Tembi Powers.
Check him
Tembi
out.
as in like Tembi Wapumshak.
Tembi, yeah, but without the H, so Tembi.
Okay, cool.
Look out for him. Look out for him. You'll tell me what you think.
No doubt.
All right, guys, can we wrap? Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Thank you
All
so
right,
much
thank
for
you,
joining
guys.
us on this new experience of POPcast. Please let us know. Give us some comments. Did you like the previous look or do you like this four square?
Thank you so much, guys.
And yeah, man, we'll catch you again next week. Make sure that you keep on subscribing, and we'll be with you until the end of the lockdown and after.
Scoop.